Good morning. Hope you're doing well. As with every session, we're going to start off with massaging and rubbing the bubbling well point on our foot. It's down a little bit. Bubbling well is right here, top of the foot. It's an important acupuncture point. So to waken it up, as well as wake ourselves up, slap. And then you rub. Okay. Now we're doing two things simultaneously here. We're actually activating a point here on our hands called Gong. And so these are important points for this lesson. They're always important, but in this lesson particularly. So imagine there's a chi ball, an energy ball, a bright ball of light like a star in this bubbling well point, as well as in the center of your palm, Gong. Okay, so as you're holding them here, you can feel them connecting to chi balls. Okay, other foot, hand, slap, activating both bubbling well and Gong. Good. Then rub. Good. Okay, slow it down. Hold the hand against the foot. Visualize a star, chi ball, ball of light in bubbling well and in the center of your palm. Good. Okay. Next, as always, the driving force of all the energy is the lower dantian, the sea of elixir, the field of elixir. And it's basically just a little bit below your belly button. We'll activate that by slapping, and then we'll help our whole body to spread the chi around. Good way to wake up in the morning. All right, we're going to move up to front and back of our head, side of our head, diagonal, diagonal, top of our head, and then back down. Really feel the vibrations in the dantian. Okay, back up. Inside of the arm. Outside of the arm. Lift the arm up, down the side of the body. And then back to the dantian. Okay, back up, down the inside of the arm. Back up the other side. The arm up, down the side. Good. Back. Front. Back again. We're going to go on the sides. Side of the knees. Side of the ankles. Top of the feet. Inside the legs. Now, back, buttocks. Behind the knees. Top of the feet, knees, dantian. Good. All right, and then stop. Hold the hands on the belly. We'll do some ocean breathing. Feel the chi ball between your palms. Inhale. Exhale. As you're inhaling, shift the weight subtly on the front of your feet. As you exhale, sit back on your heels. Very subtle shift. Also bring awareness not only to when you're breathing in, not only to the front of your body, your belly, but also feel any expansion in the back. It's called kidney breathing. So not only is your belly expanding, there's some expansion in the back. At first it's kind of hard to feel, but over time you feel the back expanding with each breath. So put your attention in your back, behind your belly button, as you inhale. It's a very important point called Ming Men. Feel the chi ball getting larger. Good, good. Okay. And then gradually bring it back to a smaller energy ball. Store in your belly. Another way to get this dantian open is through laughter. Do a little bit of laughter. It's from laughter yoga. Take a deep breath and just start laughing. Feel it in your belly. Good, good. Okay. Deep breath. Nice, nice. Okay, so we're going to be learning today just a brief introduction to, it's called Bagua circle walking. And it's an exercise that's really good for balance. It's really good for the health of your feet and just overall health, but it's really good for balance. Bagua, this means 8-sided shape. it's developed into a complex philosophy. There's Bagua. There's elements of trigrams of the I Ching are part of the Bagua. And in essence, it's basically pointing to all the directions: north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest. It's basically the cardinal directions and the intermediate directions. So it's an eight-sided octagon. So Bagua means eight-sided shape. And so Bagua Zhang, palms of Bagua, is a martial art similar to Tai Chi, but it's a little bit faster, but it has the same health benefits. And the primary exercise within Bagua is circle walking, which is great because you can walk. You don't need any type of machinery to walk. You don't need a treadmill. You can just walk in your house around in circles, and you can walk for miles if you want. It's particularly useful in the winter when you're kind of stuck inside, and particularly useful right now when we're kind of stuck inside as well. So it's a great way of exercising and as well improving your balance. So there's a specific type of step. It's not just ordinary steps, but it's basically steps combined with the special dantian breathing that we've been doing, which is focusing on the lower dantian as well as the back. So you're constantly focusing on that, as well as the Lao Gong points, centers of your palms, and the bubbling well, which we activated earlier. So you kind of have awareness of that. The primary focus is still on your dantian. But the movement of the feet is interesting. Just gonna turn this down a little bit. So basically, starting posture, you can have your hands down. It's called downward sinking palm. Okay, so you feel your shoulders are rounded, the elbows are a little bent, and it's like you're holding a beach ball, kind of keeping it submerged underwater. So there's a little bit of a feeling of the beach ball trying to push up, and you're pushing down. You're not pushing down with great force, but there's a little bit of dynamic tension there. And then our knees are slightly bent. You can see here, it's not straight up, but bent. And the weight is on both feet at this particular moment. They will shift as we walk. And so the movement is you shift your weight onto, let's say, your right leg, and then you lightly lift up the other leg. It's called making it empty. There's no weight on this leg, on my left leg. And then I slowly move it forward and then put it down. Now, even when I put it down, the weight is still on the back leg, okay? And then we slowly, almost like you're climbing a ladder with your feet, you kind of pull your whole body, then the weight shifts onto that foot, and the other foot becomes empty. There's hardly any weight on this back leg. All the weight shifts onto this leg, and then you slowly, keeping the foot parallel, bring the foot forward. Now I can move this foot anywhere because all the weight is on this leg, but it's low. Even though you can't see my head, it's better to see my feet at this moment. So it's like this, then that comes down. Then, as if, again, like you're kind of climbing a ladder with your feet, slowly pull your body forward, transferring all the weight onto that foot, feel really stable, and then slowly move this foot. And this foot is, again, gliding just a couple millimeters off the ground, and then it's coming forward. And it kind of comes forward with a little bit of a snap. And so it's every step is a kick, okay? And there's an element of feeling like you're kind of pushing like a box across the floor with your foot. Right? So there's a little bit of dynamic tension there. And then down. And we're doing it slow right now. We're doing it super slow. That's the way you learn, and then you speed it up later. So again, the shift, pulling, moving slowly forward, and then down. So I'll back up again. They generally say to do this for like a couple weeks before you do anything else, but we don't have 2 weeks right now. I'm just giving you some real basics. So moving forward, down, shifting the weight, feeling all the way in that foot, then coming forward, Slowly, this, then down. Okay, shifting. Then down. Shifting. Down. Shifting. Down. Okay, try that again. A couple other things to focus on. There's a lot of things to focus on. Again, you want to have your knees bent. You also want to feel like you're sitting down almost like on a stool. All right. So normally your tailbone might be arching out. You want to kind of tuck it in. Nothing dramatic like that, but basically like you're about to sit down on a stool. Okay. And you keep that as part of the practice. In addition, similar to Tai Chi, you also want to imagine that there's a string pulling the top of your head up. So when I'm in this position, I have the tailbone kind of pointing down, and then there's also, so that's pulling my lower part of my body down, then the upper part is being pulled up by a thread. So you can feel this dynamic tension with the fulcrum or the center being in the dantian. Downward, sinking, upward, rising with the head. Okay? So let's try this again. Downward sinking palms. Okay. Slowly moving the foot forward. Shifting the weight. Other foot coming forward. Down. Shifting the weight. Forward. Okay, good. Now let's try this. We're getting ready to go around in a circle, but we're not there yet. Now we've been having the palms down like this. Actually shift the body so the palms are kind of facing at a 45-degree angle. And try that. Try this moving forward like that. Feels a little bit more awkward. You're a little bit off center, it feels. But this is how you gain more balance. Remember to be breathing, deep breathing in the dantian, and also feel the bubbling well point in your foot, as well as the center of your palm. Feel chi there. Okay, good. And so next, the reason why I was having you tilt that way, because that's the way you're going to be walking in a circle. So now just create small circle, imaginary circle on the floor. And so as you come out with the outside leg of the circle, that leg is going to kind of turn a little bit. Then the other leg comes forward and goes straight. This one turns a little bit. The one parallels it, goes straight. This one comes again around, turns, straight, turn, straight, turn. It's called hooking step. Okay. All the postural considerations are put into effect. Your knees are bent. You feel like you're sitting down on a stool. There's a string pulling the top of your head. You're breathing in your belly. And you're focused on the weight shift of your foot. You're also twisted a little bit towards the center. There's a twisting motion. This is what gives Bagua practitioners its strength. It's a lot of twisting. Okay, we'll come back to certain point. Okay. And the transition is, as you come to a point where you want to turn, bring the foot out towards the center, have the other foot kind of almost pigeon-toed towards the other, then pivot, and then we're back going the opposite direction. This time, you shift your position to the other side. You're facing the inside of the circle, the opposite direction. And again, slowly, as if you're climbing a ladder with your feet, pulling your body around the circle. So as you can see, this is not just ordinary walking. There's a lot of things to pay attention to, but it's really good exercise. It really helps strengthen your legs, strengthen your ankles, again, improves your balance on all levels. You're also twisting your body. So there's a stretching of ligaments and also within the torso. And then you're also deep breathing. So you're trying to relax into this position, similar to kind of a moving yoga. Good. And pivot towards the center. Have the other leg come in, and then shift. All right. So I'm going to show you 3 different positions to have your hands. So the first one we've done, downward sinking palm. All right. And that, as we're doing it, we're shifting towards the center here. The next one requires a little bit more room if you're in a small room, but it's basically have an upholding palm. So your hands come out and out to your side, not straight out, but arms bent, feeling like you're holding a sphere in each hand. Then you shift towards the center. So let's try this. So the other one was pushing down, and this one feels like we're lifting up, holding up heaven. Breathing through the dantian. Feeling your feet. This really warms up your body, even though you're not doing calisthenics. This really heats up your body. Okay, pivot towards the center, opposite direction. Breathing from the belly. Imagine holding 2 spheres of energy in your palms. One more circle. Okay. The next one is the most famous of the arm positions. It's called the Millstone pushing palm. It's basically like this. So you put your hands out, and as you turn, one hand goes down, one hand goes up. So they're both pushing. This is more of a blocking, this is more of a push. But they're both kind of holding like a sphere of energy. And when you're going through the circle, this is always aimed towards the center of the circle. So people a lot of times in China will do this around a tree, and the tree is their focus. So they keep the palms, they're not right underneath each other. The palm under is a little bit to the side. But basically, what your hand is pointing to is your opponent, if we're using this as a martial art. But it can be anything, any point, a central point. So as you walk the circle, you have your eye looking over your index finger, okay? And this really generates some balance because you're not looking at anything other than beyond your index finger. Feel the sinking, the lower torso, the raising up of the upper one. The back is slightly rounded. Good. There's a whole bunch of ways of changing and shifting this. I'll show the most simple. Get to the point, have the hands come out, and then just reverse. Deep abdominal breathing. One more round. Back to center. Hands come up, then down, back to dantian. So that's just a super brief introduction to Bagua, but it can get you started. The main thing is start doing it in a linear fashion, and then go to the circle. Do it slow, take your time, and then eventually you can start speeding it up. But the benefits are through the slow moving at first to kind of get your structural alignments set up. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week. Thanks again. Take care.